Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming to my channel and watching this video. It means a lot to me. I'm Ryan and this is Ryan Talks, and today I'm talking about a book turned movie called The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas right here. Was not expecting to see the movie, but I would actually recommend it. Yeah, it's rated PG-13 for crime and drama, and that is an understatement by just saying crime and drama. It should be emphasized in bold. All of my feelings will kind of come out as I'm talking about this. I definitely have a few scenes that I felt strong about, as well as the meaning and the purpose of this movie. As for the scenes that stuck out with me, there's really no one specific reason why they stuck with me. It's just the passion that they had, or the emotion that they withdrew, or just the fact that even though it's fiction, this could be happening real life 5 minutes from now, 5 minutes ago, yesterday, today, tomorrow. And I can't help but think of it, it just touched something that was able to do the job of connecting with the audience. The death scene, of course, of Khalil with Star is kind of the big one, so to speak. Just to see your best friend from the single digits get shot right in front of you, and then you can't do anything about it, and the cop is too scared, anxiety, and too shocked at what he did to do anything about it too. You just get overwhelmed and, hyperventilate. You do all these crazy things, and you think it's going to save and want to bring back your friend. And it was sad, it was depressing, it was I think after that moment, for the whole movie, my stomach and heart were so full. It really, really was. It was so sad, and to think that happens, I was just like, what would I do? After a couple of threats and kind of doing an interview, there was a kitchen scene with Star and her uncle, who also happens to be a cop. And he has a conversation with her, kind of going briefly about it. He asks how she's doing, and she just said, how can this be happening? And she asked the police officer, did not even say, put down the gun or freeze or hold, anything that would say if he had a gun to put it down, give him time, versus he reacted with maybe his emotions or just as a human, don't know really, and shot him and killed him. And the uncle then says, well, there are numerous things that a police officer has to think about when he is in a second situation, and he goes up to it. And the situation was Star and Khalil were in the car together, and he said that the police officer had to think about, is the girl okay? What would the girl be doing there? What is the guy's intention with the girl? When they are sitting in the car together, are they trying to make a distraction or a story to tell the police officer as a bluff? Or what would the girl do if he were to be taken in a car? Or what would the guy be doing if the girl had gotten in trouble and arrested? All of these factors, he said, makes a police officer's job on the line. And I was just out of words. I never ever would have thought about that. And maybe it's just not because either I'm not using common sense or not a police officer, but yeah, you kind of would think that all these things could happen, and not one of the questions he asked that were so darn good I thought about. So it just made me think about how, kind of going into real life, that I have so much respect that a cop has to think of all these scenarios in a split second before he can make a respectable judgment to kind of take action in any way that he or she would have to do. there was also a limo scene, and in that scene, nothing bad happened and nothing gross. It was just a very personable in trying to defend and recognize a person for who they are. And inside was Star and her boyfriend. He found out that she had done an interview that could put her potential life in danger, as well as her family and their community. And she was just emphasizing, crying, and yelling that he's not seeing her for who she is, her color of her skin, the community, her name, where she comes from, and how she identifies and how the people at her high school are not the same, how she and him are not the same. And all he can say is, yes, we are the same. We breathe, we eat, we talk, we look. And he looked into her eyes and said that you are just Star to me. You are the person that I love. You are my girlfriend. You are the person that you can come to when you need a hug, to hold, someone to talk to, someone you will come to when you are scared. And she was not getting that until she got a little more angry and realized that under everything she is saying, or maybe on top, that she is what he is saying, which is still a human being, still born from a mother and a father, still going to school, a person who has to live their life to their fullest. And she didn't realize, what he was saying, because she has had two lives. The Star that goes to high school in that community, and then where her home is. And it was just so touching for someone to see just the person that they want to love and be with and make happy versus anything else. And this is where it kind of gets a personal, maybe controversial for my opinion. I would love to see more people think like that and just be like that and see that nothing is wrong with where you come from or who you are or where, like I said, your last name or what you look like. We are all people. We might have some problems, differences, but that's what makes this world, this planet so special, so fabulous, because we all have to understand and learn and work together. And that's what he was really doing. And if we all did that, there'd be less of what is in this movie: the crime, the hate, judgment, and thinking someone is better than the other when we are all together, and we need that back. So if that was confusing, I just wish that there were people who love each other for what's in their heart, and I guess outside too. That's attraction, part of attraction, but what they want to stand for, what they want to do, making sure that the person they're dating is at their level or better and can make each other better and have kids who can make the world better and spread what seems to be so hard, but happiness and love. So yeah, my rant's over with that. The final scene that touched me, leaving me thinking about it more and more, was one of the very last scenes involving more police officers, Star's family, and the gang. It just happened to be that the family shop went on fire because of the king, and police showed up because there were guns drawn, there was fighting, there was a fire, so of course people were going to call 911, and their little boy, who is maybe 7 or 8, somewhere in that range, takes a gun from his father's back inside his pants and points it at the man who is pointing a gun at him to say, "Don't shoot my father." And the cops are just kind of running up and seeing who has the gun first and pointing at it. And of course it's the little boy. The uncle, who is also the police officer, as I said a while back, is saying, "Put your guns down, hold on, stand down." They're not listening to him. And it got to the point where the lesson learned, which I'll get to in just a moment, finally caught up with the main character, Star. So she did a heroic, brave sister, unthinkable act. Stood in front of her brother with a gun, put her hands up and said, hasn't there been enough killing? Aren't we learning yet? And with that, she's crying, her brother's crying, and the look on the police officer's face is what I was drawn and nailed to. They felt guilty, they felt sad, they felt confused, they felt, what are we doing? Questioning, pointing two guns at a cop who was literally saying, don't hurt my father. And I felt the same way. I was like, where would I point my gun? To the guy who's actually the starter of the fire but doesn't have a gun in his hand yet? Or the little boy? Or the father who looks like he is going to go out and punch someone? But I think I would kind of be learning a little bit about the situation rather than first pointing my guns down. I think I would literally just have it face down but out in case I needed to draw it. But I was just so I was speechless when I saw that. I think it was two white police officers just so confused and everything. And my God, it was just a miracle that no one got shot. It was a miracle that the right person went to jail and the right person kind of displayed what should have been done, the right act. So this brings me to my final point in this, as well as final opinions and thoughts and feelings. The meaning of the movie to me. If you kind of look at the book and you kind of do this, it actually said, well, the hate you give, it spells out thug. There are a few sayings in this one, and one of them is thug life, which stands for the hate you give little infants F's everything. And, you know, for a star, that was kind of like just a saying that you grow up where you kind of belong, and the life kind of, you live in a life of crime and drama and drugs and everything. But she really did not understand it, nor did I, until I saw what her little brother did. Everything from the drugs, the cuss words, the fighting, the moving, the danger, everything. Having to go to a school out of your district because it wasn't good enough, because the school in their community was where everyone got high, got shot, got pregnant. Everything that they just looked down upon, they were putting that in the umbrella. And so, back again, it wasn't until I saw and the narration from her that I understood what that whole phrase meant, thug life. And it is true, because we, the generation before the new generation, I guess, is an influence to everyone else. And it doesn't matter really where you come from. It doesn't matter who your parents are, who your influence are, kind of does. But you have the power to change things, and you have the power to raise and kind of grow and teach the little ones what is good, what is bad, and what is worth fighting for, what is not, what is an action worth taking, what is not. And we need to figure that out as a whole, and to somehow figure out who the bad people are, if there are any bad people, the good people, if there are any good people, if we need a balance, if the balance is already there. And that, my friends and family, is where the movie ends, stops, concludes. Thug life. And it's a rough life. And I'm lucky that I didn't live in there, only to have feelings of possibly the true story that I don't know. But all I know is that I want to live a happy life. I want to inspire and teach, even people that are older than me, my age and younger than me, what it means to live a healthy, happy life, what it means to, love, and what it means to take care of, and the good rather than thinking evil first, and helping out. Everyone could help out. It's not impossible. It might be difficult, but it's not impossible. There's just so much good we can do and teach. And that's probably something we could start first rather than cursing at the table or, having all of these horrific explosions and dramatic shows on TV and movies, all the erotic adult scenes that have to happen in the movie, that we have to advertise so many things and it influences them. Even bad habits that are hurtful to our bodies, drugs, tobacco, the guns that we have in our homes that we teach our little kids how to use, the thinking that they're going to need it. I mean, sure, it's good for them to use it, but do we tell them when to use it, why to use it, and then just the purpose of a gun? I don't know. I will leave that up for you. I'm thinking you're kind of tired of my feelings, opinions, or I don't know for sure. But what do you think? What is the right or wrong answer? What is a place we can go from here? So I'm gonna end this now. Go ahead and pick up one of these books, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And if you have not already, go ahead and see the movie. It was released October 19th of last year, 2018. I believe I saw it through Netflix or Amazon. I'm not sure which one, but it's available almost everywhere. Please enjoy it. Please think about it. And thank you all for watching this video.